Okay, so far, why I would not recommend to take an overnight cruise is because you are doing exactly what we are doing now, you know, just taking the boat around these cliffs, around these rocks, and yes, you will stay overnight. However, there will be all kind of activities like karaoke or making some stupid spring roll. Like, seriously, do you come from the other end of the world here to do spring rolls? And so I don't see it justified to, you know, to spend the night when what you see is actually the same thing like the day boat. So you could actually have a hotel. Okay, so let me briefly explain you what I mean by the huge boat. See this here, for example, this is the Doris. It's a very luxurious ship, and you can actually sleep on board and have such a totally hotel room looking room. However, these are bloody expensive. Since it was my birthday, I considered, you know, staying in such a room. Point is, you are not in the room throughout the day because you are doing all kind of activities like kayaking and caves. So basically it's just in the morning, and then you have the breakfast, and then you are put on a normal boat like the rest of the people. And so even though you have these 3 days or 2 days, you are not going that far. You are not going all the way to the United States. I'm kidding. You are just staying in the same Gulf. You're watching the same landscape like us with a 10 times cheaper boat, let's say. And coming back, you know, in the evening for the sunset. So that's why I preferred to take some grand suite in a hotel that was much cheaper, because I didn't see it, you know, justified to have this very expensive ship lodging while I'm not there. So this is my biggest point. Like, if I should take this, then I want to be in my room and sit on my veranda and not do like this tai chi with all the other stupid people who are on the boat, or do karaoke together, or you know, do the kayaking. Like, if you have such a stunning room, then it's for the room. Otherwise, just take a cheap boat like I did and see the landscape and do the caves and the kayaking and all the other activities. And actually, when you stay on that $300 stunning boat by night, this is what you're gonna visit during the day. So basically, you are not on the boat. You are visiting just like the other people who paid $40 for the entire tour. So that's another reason why I'm not convinced it's worth it to have a, you know, to pay $300-400 per night while you're not there, while you're doing this like everyone else. These are the kayaks. So these are the boats, and 14 people fit in one. The thing with the kayak is, how do I, you know, pedal around while taking photos? So probably I will have to not do a kayak and instead take such a boat. So even if you are on that expensive boat, this here only lasts about 20 minutes, because I read the reviews. Even people who sleep on the boat will only have the 20 minutes here. It's not like you pay that much more and you will have the entire bay for yourself. So again, that's another point why it's not worth it being on a boat overnight. And since it's my birthday, it's not about saving money. I've already taken myself here in London, for example, at the Shard, the Shangri-La Hotel, the corner suite with view on London Bridge, to Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, you know, that iconic infinity pool, and Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong with view on Victoria Bay. So I would have totally taken such a Doris cruise beautiful room if I would have spent the time, you know, at leisure in the room and not doing tai chi on the roof at 6 o'clock or going through caves or kayaking and other activities like the other people that do this on the $40 day cruise. Basically, it's exactly the same thing, just that in the evening you get to sleep in this room. So that's why it's not worth it for me. This is an example of such a hotel boat that cruises around. And yes, maybe some of the rooms they have balcony like that, but they go to same places, like they are now here in front of my balcony. This one costs you some $200, or if you wanna go nice, $300, while this boat can be $30 and the room $27. So this is the big price difference, and I would rather be here watching them instead of, I don't know, riding around with group of people and having to do activities together. So this type of landscape goes on and on for hours and hours. So by now everybody kind of got bored and they take a seat. The scenery is basically the same. And so I'm not sure it's really worth it having an overnight cruise for this. I don't know if it's possible, but what I would instead recommend is to find a fisherman who can take you on a small boat and get like really close to these rock formations. Like myself, I would rather hire such a small boat and then have them take me like really close and to places where there's nobody else, instead of such thing that's more for grandma and grandpa. I heard that the rooms, the isolation is not so good, so you can hear each other from cabin to cabin, and basically you are not on the boat all the time. They will put you on a smaller boat, and that smaller boat is going to take you to the activities. So actually it's just sleeping there, and that's why I couldn't justify taking such a boat, although I really wanted like luxury style something. But when I read the reviews, and having to do karaoke with them, and it's a group, it's much like you don't have privacy or your choice. You will depend much more on them because you are, like you see, bound together. The Doris cruise, this is actually the one that I wanted to take because the rooms are really luxurious apparently on the website. However, look at them, they are staying here. I don't want to say stuck, but the boat is here. See, the stuff is cleaning, and the customers are probably shipped away with such a small ship to do some activity, and so the beautiful Doris is empty, no customers. That's why it's not worth it paying the $300 for this, because you are actually not on the boat. And same with these other boats, they are just parked. But yeah, it's not like they travel around all the time. See, they are very static. And one final advice: if you really wanna spend money on something, take a seaplane for such a sightseeing flight. If you are lucky for them to do the flight on the day when you are there. And actually even better would be this, a helicopter. When I was there, they didn't have enough customers, so I was every day calling, and I would have been supposed to pay the entire helicopter because it didn't have other people, but I think the business will grow, so just spend money on such. This would be so amazing, to see everything from above, and take just a day boat tour for 30-40 US dollars, and then take the ferry that takes you to Cat Ba Island, because that one you get to see everything, like the cruises, like the day tours, and even more actually, without any stop to caves and stupid kayaking. And that ferry is, I don't know, maybe $6 US, like the cheapest thing. But then, yeah, take the helicopter.